This tutorial presents a step-by-step process for how to add destinations to the website. So the step one in flexAdmin is to go to Destinations Manager and click on Add Destination. The adding of a destination is a two-step process. The first step is to set the tour name, the season/year, and optionally the HTML file. So the tour name is going to be Persian Gulf Cruise. Season year is spring 2012, and this destination tour actually does have itinerary in it. So we're going to import the HTML file exported from the Quark file. This is an optional step. If you have a tour that does not have an itinerary, you can skip the addition of the HTML file and still carry on to step two. So but in this case, we're going to upload the HTML file. Click on Choose File. Now, in my experience with testing the files generated from Quark, it is the export2.html file that contains the itinerary. So we're going to select that and hit Submit. The system has now uploaded and parsed the HTML file. Okay. So in order, on step two, in order what we have to do now, the first thing we should do is set the destination country. In this case, it's actually a cruise. We're going to select cruise. We can set the tour, so you can see now that the season, year, and tour name are already preset there from step one. So the next step is the tour subname. I've got this file open up, which is the export1.html file. So we're going to use some of this to make things easier for us. So we're going to paste that in here. Number of days is 10. I believe, yes, it's February 22nd to March 2nd. Okay, now if you had this tour running on separate dates, more than one date, you can separate the dates by comma. So I could then go, March 19 or 29 or whatever to whatever, and then for each time it runs, separate by comma. Okay, so now we're going to start adding details. The first one is tour description. So again, from the HTML file, I'm going to take the description from it. Quark takes these kind of characters here and creates images. So we're missing the J from join, but we can easily fix that up in flexAdmin. Now you might think just copy and paste it right into here, but you can't, because this comes from an HTML file. If you were to paste it right in here right now, it would actually keep some of the styling. We want to avoid any extraneous styling from being added. So we're going to use this button up here called Paste as Plain Text. Clicking that brings up a window where we can paste and hit OK. So now we can see from the beginning we're missing that J, so let's just put the cursor there and add it. We got an extra space here we're going to get rid of. And at the end of Cityscape, we're going to create a line break. You can actually go in, type, add, whatever you want. You can type directly in here if you want and avoid having to copy and paste. But you do have the option. So we're going to leave tour description as is. The next one is tour inclusions. So again, going back to this, we're going to grab these holiday inclusions here. And go back in here, we're going to do the same thing, paste as plain text, again to get rid of any extraneous styling. Hit OK. Now, it's got rid of all the styling pretty well, and it doesn't recognize that they are list elements anymore, which is fine. We can fix that up. So we're going to just go through here and quickly get rid of these dots that are bullet points actually, and create them on their own lines. Now we can simply create HTML list elements via flexAdmin by selecting the text and clicking on the Insert/Remove Bulleted List. Bam! Now it's a perfect bulleted list in HTML. Now we're going to add costs. So let's go back in here. Get the costs, copy it. Again, we're going to paste as plain text. Hit OK. We can see that there's some spacing here. We're just going to get rid of some extra spaces, and that looks fine. The next box is the tour itinerary. So this is what was parsed from that file that we uploaded that was exported from Quark. by the looks of it, it looks like the parsing engine did a perfect job on this. It parsed it exactly how we wanted it. This may not always be the case because, unfortunately, the way that Quark XBAR creates HTML, there's no rhyme or reason. So the function that we've developed to do the parsing is pretty accurate, but there may be issues where you have to kind of go in there and fix things up. And in which case you can certainly do that. Here's some rules. The day headings are always heading 2. So each of these, day 1, day 2, day 3, they all have the style of heading 2, okay? The subheadings, departure, Dubai, etc., are always are always heading 3. Okay, and then the text is always normal. So running with that, you could actually add your additional ones if you'd like. You can, or if there's the text that's been parsed is not correct, you can modify it by saying heading 2, heading 3, and normal. Heading 2, heading 3, normal. This allows the CSS style sheet on the front-end website to style it how we want without actually having to put any HTML in this. Alright, so the last step is we want to have an image on this. FlexAdmin has a built-in finder system for images and files. Click on Browse Server. You'll see that, I'll bring it into the window here, you'll see that we have the folders here where all the images are. These are the images that I've already uploaded, and this is one we're going to use. If you wanted to add an additional image, you could click Upload, choose the file, okay, in this case it's the one I used, I'm not going to do it now, and then hit Upload Selected File right here. But since we already have the image, we're just going to double click on it, and it's going to instantly drop it into the page. And now we've got everything set that we need for this tour and this destination. If there are certain required fields that are not filled out, FlexAdmin will show you that as errors at the very top of the screen here. I don't think we're going to run across that here, so let's hit Submit, see what happens. Alright, so here we see Persian Gulf Cruise Spring 2012. If we click on View, it goes to the front-end website, and we see everything right here that we put in here. This is everything we entered via FlexAdmin. Alright. And look at, here's the itinerary. That looks great. We didn't touch this at all. This is strictly from the parsing engine without any editing. And that is how we add a destination.